Hello YouTube, it's me again, back with another guide. It's all I do these days. This time I decided to help a Sheik main learn how to Edgeguard Captain Falcon. They tweeted this and I said, okay, I will give you a flowchart that I think is very good, should be exhaustive. And they were kind enough to compile the information, most of it that I'm going to talk about in this video, though I'm going to try and cover stuff that isn't in the doc, then we can hopefully, you know, work on it and make sure it's truly comprehensive. But in the meanwhile, there's some information here that won't be in the doc for a bit, at least. But yeah, they compiled the stuff I sent them and made like simple explanations. Basically, what's the word? Translating what I wrote to them in DMs into, you know, easy to read doc. So if you don't like videos, then this document will be linked in the description. But in the meanwhile, here I have a folder with all of the edgeguarding situations that Sheik and Falcon can realistically be in. At least all of the like common ones that I think about when I think about the matchup. Obviously, you're not gonna cover exactly everything, every single mix-up, you know, every single small drift thing, and a lot of it's going to be like recognition while you're there. However, as a general rule of thumb, as long as Falcon can't double jump to ledge, you should be able to kill him. That is the rule I follow, where if they can't double jump to ledge, you should be able to kill them, as Sheik and as Fox. And I think it's Falco as well, though I'm not quite as sure what the flowchart is there. But we are gonna start with what Sheiks do wrong. So what I think happens a lot. Also, can I get this to be a better size? Does this work? I should have figured this out earlier. I will be mini. I'm mini in the corner now. What I think a lot of people do is that they overuse down smash, and when you overuse down smash, you end up in a spot where you won't be able to cover tech, and this will happen. They'll tech, and they'll up B you. Now, if you're over 12%, this is bad, because this means that Falcon gets to come back for free. However, in this clip, I intentionally made Sheik stay at 0%, because at below 12%, you do not get knocked down, so it is a valid tactic at low percent to tank the up B and then run off fair like that. So we can play it again. Down smash. Eat the up B into run off fair. And the Falcon can't act there at all. They are completely dead. However, they don't always have to up B. The Falcon can also pick air dodge. And if you do this correctly, Falcon gets to land before you can act. In this case, I might have messed it up. Yeah, you see here that Sheik gets stacked beforehand. But if you do a wall jump air dodge and air dodge down, Falcon gets stacked first, gets back for free. Very difficult to do, but in any case, right here, you're not gonna hit Falcon with anything except this up tilt. You won't be able to grab because you turned the wrong direction. If you down smash again, they just slide across the ground in the opposite direction. And here, all you get is a fair. And, you know, that's not perfect. Why? Oh yeah, so you don't want that, right? So what you do instead? Well, what you can do instead is that instead of setting up the down smash, you can cover both high and low from the tether position here near ledge, where if they go far away, this back air will just hit them every time. And regardless of percent, you're always going to be able to get a second back air and then ledge and then repeat the situation. Like no matter what, you're always going to be able to loop this over and over at low percent. So if you hit the bear, they up B again, you hit them with a second bear, you get to ledge first, you bear again, and then they're dead. So you can just do this from super low percent. Also, excuse me that it like, every time it finishes, it ends like that in the corner. But yeah, that is how you deal with the far out one. However, what Sheiks find tricky is generally when people are right below ledge. And the reason they find that tricky is because that's, you know, when you want to down smash, because it might not be obvious what your other tools are. So you have a few options, right? First of all, under 74%, soft hit nair is untechable. What that means is, under 74%, you can do this run of nair, and it will always clip them and be untechable. And then if they're at really low percent, you do run off nair, into forward air, into back air, into whatever area you want, and then you up B back. And at higher percents, you don't have to do that. Even if the Falcon up B's here, they're not gonna make it, so you just get back to ledge and you're fine. Or you do back air, same deal. Knocks down, like the weak hit will be techable slightly earlier, but you know, as long as you have the percents down, then you know when you should and shouldn't do it. And also, it's a lot easier to make sure that the back air sends forward rather than backwards. So depending on spacing, you want to pick one over the other. And then the third one, I messed this one up, I'd fall down accidentally. But on the fourth one here, you just do this needle. Slight dash back, needle, take ledge, and then you can do an aerial from ledge, you can do another needle, you can do whatever you want. They are dead from there. Here is a similar situation, but it's a little bit harder. And the reason it's a little bit harder... Wait, what? Oh yeah, it's because this time the Falcon is slightly further down and going for like the sweet spot. And you see here, when they go for the sweet spot, it's very hard to hit this like nair here. They could theoretically like drift around it and dodge the nair. So you might want to do this back air, and then this was a techable situation. The Falcon could have teched and, you know, up beat back, and you would have been screwed. Which, you know, isn't good. Nair again, this percent untechable. Here you could hit them, but it can be a little bit confusing when you can and can't hit them with Nair, and it's a little bit stage dependent. They can pretty frequently set up techs, no matter what, if they're at the correct percent. Another option here that I think is interesting is when the Falcon up Bs so that they can land on stage slightly. This up B here lands on the very lip of the stage, and when the up B lands at the very lip of the stage, it can be tricky to hit the Nair, so you might want to do the needles instead, because what can happen otherwise is they go for this Nair, and if you react just a little bit too slow, you'll get the hard hit Nair, which in some spots will reverse, and then, you know, they get to tech and they get back for free. So doing the needles, if you think they're like too high up and it can be hard to like cover, it's not a bad idea. And then here, that was the same thing, same deal. I was like, that could have been a hard hit, and that right there is a hard hit. So it's a little bit rough in that spot. However, it's not all bad. The reason it's not all bad is that you can actually make it back like fast enough, in that if you do this wall jump into up B, then they grab ledge first. If they do an instant up B, I'm fairly sure that they will grab ledge before you, or they will go on stage with an air dodge. However, if they do a high up B and you do this air dodge, you're safe. At worst, you're gonna land at around the same time that he grabs ledge, because it's a lot faster than the up B. So instead of doing up B, if you have a wall jump opportunity, drift back, get the air dodge back onto stage, and even if you mess up and they get the tech, you're gonna reset to neutral at worst, and in some spots, you're still gonna be able to get the kill. So keep in mind that you can wall jump air dodge. Now, another reason I like this is because covering air dodge onto stage is actually, in my opinion, a little bit easier from behind like this, in that they're gonna do this air dodge, and I'm assuming that they aren't falling down so they can do an downwards air dodge. If they can do a downwards air dodge, you're probably still in a position where they could have grabbed ledge and it's still a mix-up. And if not, it was so hard to tell that I'd forgive you for missing the Edgeguard. But in spots where they cannot air dodge down and have to air dodge up, then you can just reverse nair them every time. So instead of doing the down smash, which here could send into stage, it could be like weirdly techable. They could like SDI it so that the first hit sends maybe one direction, but the other one sends, you know, the opposite direction. You can ignore that, all that, and just do a short up nair and reverse them consistently. And that is a pretty easy reaction to do. Now, here we get to what Sheik struggle with the most, which is the high recovery. And the reason Sheiks struggle with the high recovery a lot is because they act from the ledge. Almost every single Sheik you see play, they're going to go to the ledge. And in my opinion, you very rarely want to do that. I would basically only do that if the Falcon can threaten a double jump to ledge, because then you get a good mix-up. And again, you're not gonna guaranteed edgeguard someone who can double jump to ledge. You can make it very difficult and get pretty consistent, but you will have to read at some points. You can't just react. So outside of those situations, a lot of Sheiks still just go to ledge here. They hit this like up smash, they're super far away, they take ledge, and then what happens? The up B goes like super high and it's hard to cover. How do you fix that? Well, you stay on the stage, and if you see them be this far away, this back air just hits everything. Either you soft hit, or you hard hit, or, fun fact, you miss. However, the back air here acts like a wall. If the Falcon holds in, they get hit by the back air, situation resets, you're good. If they hold out, you have this wall out, and then you will always fall to ledge before them. So you can always just do this back air, and depending on their height, you do a full jump back air or a double jump back air. Now, what can be a little bit harder is when they do this even higher up. Right here, you see how far up they are at the very tip, like the hourglass? When they do it that high up, it's very difficult to cover. However, this was him holding full in, which means this back air, drift back, should just hit like all of the spacings. You can just hit this bear and then drift it back out, and then you'll have like the wall out, or be able to do like a second back air. So I don't think you have to play the mix-up in this spot, necessarily. It's just that it's way harder to cover. So a rule of thumb that I really like, which I can't show on FD, it was a poor choice by me to pick this stage, but the only thing you care about when edgeguarding Falcon is whether he can edge cancel or go to ledge. So what that means is, as long as he can't edge cancel the up B and he can't go to ledge, you have those two covered, you can allow him to land anywhere else and just hit him. And in some spots, you're gonna be, or if you have the presence of mind to recognize that, you should be able to just hit like either a grab, another dash attack, or, you know, an up tilt, whatever move you want, something that allows you to confirm into a kill from there, which means it shouldn't be that bad to let them land on stage, as long as you cover like the edge cancel here and the going to ledge. Now, the reason that one is harder than the... That's the wrong one. Than the mid one here is that when they do an up B, and this is very important to remember for every character, this is not Sheik specific, but when they do an up air, or no, up B, they do not get to drift until the very peak of their up B. And by that I mean, this up B looks exactly the same no matter what. This bear will always hit it at that spacing. While on the other one, that one is a little bit harder, because as you can see, you can't hit them on the way up. So it's worth keeping in mind that it's a lot easier to hit them at the peak of the up B than when they start falling. So whenever possible, you always want to, you know, try and intercept them at the top. And that's why this one is extra difficult, because this is the only time you have to deal with a drift mix-up. But I'm fairly sure that all of your aerials are big enough that you can still confirm into a kill despite the drift from this position. However, if they're like strictly above you at the very peak, like imagine up here, they started all the way up here, then it's gonna be a mix-up. So keep that in mind, that they're only scary on the way down. Now, here is a situation where people will do the down smash, but if you have time, you want to do this forward air instead, and I'll explain why. Where the down smash gets take up bead and take air dodge onto stage works, this fair allows you to dash back. So you might not have caught this, I'll play it in full speed. You see how I get the fair, and then instantly, before I see him do anything, I dash back. And the reason for this is you can still cover the air dodge onto stage, and you avoid the up B hitbox here. So you don't get hugged, and then you intercept at the peak of the jump, and then hit him, and he's dead. In the same way, you just do it again. And that is a lot stronger than jumping immediately. Here, wait, what? Yeah, okay. Right here, if you hit a down tilt here or a forward air and you jump immediately, you get hugged on the way up, and it sucks. So play that again in full speed. Hugged, and at low percent, doesn't matter, you still get the kill. But at higher percent, that is a missed Edgeguard, and Falcon gets back for free. Worth mentioning, if you don't feel comfortable hitting the short hop fair, you can also do Nair. However, the timing is a little bit rougher since the hitbox doesn't go as far down. This also showcases that it's fine to be late here, because the way Falcon's up B hitbox works, let me see if I can actually showcase this. Okay, let me showcase this real quick. Falcon's up B hitbox is special in that it only has the grab hitbox at the legs. So you see this? It doesn't extend to the peak of his up B. And also, as soon as you see him curl like this, there's no danger. As soon as you see him curl like this, you have won the situation. He can't drift yet. He can only drift like right here. Now he can start drifting and start building momentum. But before then, there is nothing to worry about if you just aim for the head / wait out the grab hitbox. Which is exactly what I am doing in this clip, where instead of jumping into him immediately, I space so that there's no way the grab box hits me, and then just run off fair after. And you might think, well, that is just if they instant up B, right? Like, you can't just dash back if they do a low up B, right? Like, what do you mean? You're giving one up for the other, you're not covering both. Well, you would be right if we were talking about any non-Sheik character. However, for Sheik, you can hit this, and they perfect fast fall, and then you just needle. You do the dash back. Remember, you don't have to aerial immediately. You just have to get the dash back and get the jump. So you can do this as one motion without reacting, and then you're already in the air, and either you do an aerial or you do the needle. If you do the needle, you reset the situation / you get to fair again, and then they should die. Or, they go high, well, you have all the time in the world to just back air them. So you can cover both. And this time I actually set up the NPC to do both randomly, depending on what timing I hit them with, and then I just saved the recording. And so this was just on reaction. I couldn't tell which one he was doing, because the way I inputted it accidentally made him mix up his upbeat timing after hit. Same thing with Nair, and this shows even better how much you can delay the aerial. Look at how late this is. I fall jump, and then do the latest aerial. And remember, there is no drift here. There's no drift here. They just get hit at the peak of the jump, no risk whatsoever. So I think you can, in general, just replace the down smash with needle / forward air, and it'll be better in almost every case. And if you have time, you can just do the run off nair, run off back air, and then, double aerial them, they die, there's no mix-up. However, if you don't have time to do the short hop into the fair, sometimes you might want to do a down tilt. The issue with the down tilt is that I'm fairly sure its range is just short enough that if you stand here, doing a tech instant up B, not even wall jump, this one is a little bit late as you can see, just doing a tech up B hits the down tilt. So you have to be further back. However, if you're too far back, they can actually sweet spot around the up tilt here. What that means is, I don't think the down tilt actually covers everything. I think that there's a spacing where you either give up a sweet spot far away, or you risk getting hit by the up B. However, in most cases, if you don't have time and just want to run forward, you can do the down tilt. However, it's very, very difficult to get this run away, the dash away. So instead, I just buffer a spot dodge and then still get the punish. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing down tilt either. It's just better than down smash. So if you're gonna do something grounded, do down tilt. One other note that I didn't show is that sometimes they can get the weird scenario where you down tilt them, and because the down tilt sends upwards, their tech will transition from a wall tech to a grounded tech. This happens with moves like Fox up tilt a lot, where you up tilt someone when they're riding along the ledge, they tech, and then they end up on stage. That can happen with down tilt as well, so be aware that sometimes they're just gonna randomly be able to act immediately. There we go. And then this here, I took these right now, and they are pretty interesting in that one thing that Sheik has over like every other character is that if you're too far away to Edgeguard Captain Falcon, you have one tool to make the situation into the one near ledge. Basically, no other character has this. Even Falco, who has laser, can't do this, because Falcon can just ASDI up on the laser, slash SDI up on the laser ones, and they'll always grab ledge. Sometimes they don't even have to do that, most of the time actually. However, Falcon cannot sweet spot around these needles. And then you're faced with a 50-50 by him. Is he gonna up B high or is he gonna up B low? If he up B's high, you should be able to just fair it on reaction, you know, or, you know, cover the landing. But if he up B's low, you will probably have to do the same thing. Either another pair of needles or a forward air, as in you just have to get over there as fast as possible. So this here means that you can get this Edgeguard situation in the corner as long as they're below stage and up being from like any position on stage. There is no position where you can't like kill Falcon here. However, the timing for the needles changed based on distance, and I'm fairly sure that if you're too far away, you might have to read the timing because you can't react to the up B startup because the travel time of the needles takes too long and he'll get to sweet spot in time. But if you're even like remotely close here, you're fine. One thing worth mentioning that I didn't point out is that right here, I'm simulating having hit him with one pair of needles, and then you do dash forward and you do needles again, and you see how I cancel it out of run. Canceling needles out of run is the fastest way to do multiple grounded needles. So you do run, exit dash and go into full run, press down to crouch for a few frames, and then needle again. And that's faster than doing like a wave dash forward. And then bam, you can now kill him. So yeah, that is the Flowchart. I think that covers everything. There are, like I said, maybe some edge cases, but a rule of thumb is just if they don't have a double jump to ledge as a mix-up, you should be able to just kill them. And again, all of this information, except these two, which I'll probably add in a bit, are in this document if you don't want to watch the video again. But hopefully I've done a good job explaining the like rationale between these options, or for these options. But it's easier if you want to, you know, cross-reference it with the document. And that's about it. I think that's the end of the video. And I forget to do this every time, but you know, subscribe / follow the Twitch or whatever. I'm not a good YouTuber, but I'm gonna put out every like instructional video I want to make. I'll also say that I'm planning on starting a Fox cookbook after I get back from Summit. So that's gonna be in a while. It's gonna be in January, but that is probably what I'm gonna focus on content-wise. So you know kind of what to look forward to. But at the moment, it's just like small videos like these here and there. And what you might see before the end of the week, before I go to Summit, is a video on a Fox neutral tip that I don't think a lot of Foxes do, that I abuse to just kind of auto-win versus most of them. So yeah, that is the content plan for the foreseeable future. And with that, I'm signing out. Goodbye.